was raised in a Christian household, which I'm very thankful for, but it also gave me the false confidence that I wouldn't fall into daring sin. I was lucky enough to meet Jesus during high school, but I never thought much about getting baptized. In my youth group, the tradition seemed to be that seniors went through baptism together, so I waited, but when senior year rolled around, I wasn't very compelled to. I knew in my heart that I loved Jesus, so it didn't feel at all necessary to declare it in front of a congregation. But that has changed now. When I first came to college, I was ready to graduate. Everything seemed so mediocre to my callous heart that looked much more forward to the end of my 4 years than to the beginning of it. Fortunately, God didn't see the same things in the same light. It was through the overwhelming love from the Father, through the brothers and sisters here, that I realized that my cynicism wasn't from Him. I began to actually love, not from the dirty, empty well inside me, but from His overflow of love into me. That semester was a time of absorbing and flourishing in this love. So when second semester came, my expectations for how the Lord would move skyrocketed. So I was bitterly disappointed when things didn't look so hot. Spring semester was supposed to be a time of blooming sunshine and happy rainbows, but instead I was met with freezing weather, broken friendships, and family hardships. My thought life became increasingly perverse, filled with lustful desires, ultimately leading to impure ways, and I felt that I could turn to no one. Who would assume that little church girl over here was dabbling in the sin of lust? I came out of freshman year so much more hurt than I had acknowledged, but backed myself up by robbing His endless grace. Though impurity separated me from the holiest of holies, I never wholeheartedly sought forgiveness, but rather told myself that because He loved me, He would obviously forgive me. My legitimate faith in this statement, however, was surface level and evidently broke apart as I was hurtled into the rocky summer of 2016, which began as a time of weariness and loneliness. I was consumed by self-condemnation, while still devoured by unhealthy desires on top of unclean sights, very inappropriate and very dirty sights. At this time, indulging in these videos and thoughts felt pretty gratifying. I was Eve, tempted by the fruit that was pleasing to the eye, but I hated that it felt good. It was a messy cycle of sin and guilt that I'd always assured myself I could stop whenever, but I couldn't actually break. Yet Jesus could. As I sat in a dark room in the middle of June, filled with so much shame and the desire to stop delighting in sin, I felt Him hug me. Before this, I'd only pictured Him yelling, like, "What are you doing?" After every watch or thought, and I would heave myself into regret and remorse. But this time I didn't feel a disappointed Father, but one filled with compassion, running towards me to bond me with hugs and kisses. I had made half a step towards Him, and He made 10,000. I was entirely, perfectly wrecked. From this moment, He gave me the strength to say no to my flesh. He really, really did. But it wasn't over yet. The guilt remained, and it tormented me into a great part of last semester. I had prized my purity to a level of obsession, and to mask my tainted self, I did everything I could to try to make myself pure again. But Jesus said, "Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside will also be clean." I had tasted God's redemption, but I tried to scrub myself clean. Jesus' death would be in vain if I could scrub myself clean. It is only by the blood of the Lamb that could ever save me. So during an FNL service back in December, for the first time, I told Jesus that I give everything to Him in faith. Before that, I prayed that I would be able to. I prayed that He helped me. I prayed for the desire to. But in that moment, whether I was 100% convinced or not, I gave my entire life to Him, truly declaring Him not just as my Savior, but also as my Lord. I surrendered not just the good that I believed He would be pleased with, but the bad that I was so ashamed to admit, and I'm still ashamed to admit, and the ugly that I never knew existed. I now live with the confidence that His grace runs deeper than my darkest sin and struggle. I live as a temple of God, letting my eyes be the lamp of my body, and the air in my lungs a song of His redeeming love. I live with the Holy Spirit, who allows no sin to ever feel good. I live with a radical outlook, convinced that there is no impossibility under the name of God. And I live surrounded by a family of pacemakers at GCC who continue to push me towards the truth. A Bible verse that gets me good is Psalm 41:2. It reads, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand.